Okay, so question 9 here. A chemist determined the salt content of a sausage roll by precipitating chloride ions as silver chloride. If an 8.45 gram sample of sausage roll yielded that much precipitate, calculate the percentage of salt in the food. Assume that all the chloride is present as sodium chloride. Okay, awesome. So let's have a look at what the precipitate is, because that's going to help us here. So chloride ions as silver chloride. So silver chloride is my precipitate. And how much of that did I yield? 0.636. So what's going to form part of that precipitate here? Chloride ions. Yep. Okay, and that's pretty much enough information. We've got one chloride ion here, we've got one there, but of course I can write in my other ion just to make it a nice and proper equation. But this is superfluous information. So we have this many grams of the silver chloride precipitated. Really, really important to be confident in that knowledge there. So we've dissolved kind of a sample of sausage roll. We've added a chemical to precipitate out the chloride ions. Maybe it was silver nitrate. And we've got a precipitate of silver chloride here. So we want to know something about chloride ions to help us know the salt content. So we're going to have to convert this to moles to do any sort of ratio work. So I'm going to divide the gram value of the silver chloride by its molar mass, which is going to be 35.5 plus silver, which has a molar mass of 107.9. So that is 143.4. So the moles that I have here are 0.0044. Okay, so then we can see that the moles of chloride ion here are going to be the same because I've got a 1-to-1 ratio there, 0.0044. I could go through the process of using the molar ratio, but I'm hoping you can see it's just a 1-to-1. So the moles of chloride ions that I have are 0.004. Now, if I was to think about, right, well, I really want to know the moles of the sodium chloride. And this is where we have to think about, all right, if I've got 1 mole of chloride ions, then I do have the same amount of moles of sodium chloride, because for every 1 molecule of sodium chloride, I have one chloride ion. Yeah, if it was 2 there, then for every 1 molecule of sodium chloride, I'd have 2 chlorides. But for every 1 sodium chloride, I have 1 chloride. So the number of particles is going to be the same. It'd be like saying if you've got 12 eggs, how many yolks do you have? I've got 12 yolks, because in every egg, I've got 1 yolk and 1 white. So if I've got 12 of these, how many yolks will I have? I'll have 12. Okay, so this is how many moles of sodium chloride I have. The question's asking me about the percentage by mass, so I'm going to have to convert this value to the mass of sodium chloride, and that's going to be simply a matter of multiplying this value by its molar mass. So the molar mass of sodium chloride is 23 plus 35.5, which is 58.5. So I'm going to multiply that by this. Okay, so that's my gram value, and I'm going to use that gram value to get my percentage mass by mass. So this is how much salt is in the sausage roll, which was 8.45 grams. Multiply that by 100. So divided by 8.45 times 100, so 3.05%. And if you're in the ballpark with your answer, then you know you're on the right track there with when you check the textbook. because I haven't done much rounding at all. All right, so that's question 9.